Bill, episode 7. We are caught up now, and we're going to keep rolling.
Week 7 predictions.
Make sure you keep wearing your mask, people. We have a shield in front of us.
Yeah, we got this big shield. You can't see it? Make sure you wear that mask.
Wear the mask, all right? Okay, this week, well, we're in the same week. Well, this Thursday, we will be talking about the matchups. And I think I'm 44-15 in total.
I think I probably lost.
44-15 is my record right now.
I'm terrible at predictions.
So if you need gambler, right here, I'm your guy.
Yeah, bet $10 million this week on us. We got all the right matchups.
Okay, this week we're going to start with the Thursday night game, which is the Giants and Eagles.
Eagles. I picked up the Eagles defense.
So did
I had to get it, and I had to get a defense.
I did. No, I think I did the Giants defense. I picked
either
up.
one you pick is going to be like.
I think I picked up the Giants defense.
It's going to be offenses versus offense because the defenses are just like.
Besides the Eagles D line, pretty good.
Well, actually, I don't know. It can go either way, really.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they're a pretty big gamble.
Definitely gonna take the Eagles here because I think Carson Wentz is definitely a good enough quarterback to go out.
Carson Wentz was killing it last week against the Ravens.
The second half. First half he was awful. All right, our next game, Steelers and Titans, probably the best game.
There's a big playoff implications too. Whoever gets this is the number 1 seed in the AFC. This is big, and they'll probably keep the momentum going too. I don't know who I want. This is like a 50-50.
For
like
me,
a 3-point game.
Of course I'm going to go to the Steelers, but this is the thing. There's a world where I do think that the Titans have a 55% chance of winning that game over the Steelers 45. But I'm taking the Steelers because they're 5-0 this year. I want them to keep rolling, so I'm going to go with the team that's hot right now because they're both hot. They're 5-0.
I think the only way the Steelers win is if their defense can
they got to stop the
run.
run.
Henry.
Got to stop the run. They will be okay with the passing.
The only thing that needs to happen is the Steelers defense needs to show up, and that will be it. If the Steelers defense,
Tannehill's having a great year, 1,400 yards and 13 touchdowns.
Tannehill's been a top 5 QB right now.
He is. Derrick Henry, 600 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Derrick Henry's been the number 1 running back in the league.
Chase Claypool, 340 yards, 4 touchdowns for a rookie.
That's going to be good against the Titans defense. It's not that good. They're
not
okay.
Bad. They got good corners, but everything else.
Claypool, he lines up in the slot, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, sometimes they like to line him up with the linebacker.
Yeah, he's gonna kill their. I don't think their safeties are too good. They have a couple slower safeties.
They have
Kevin Byard,
but Kevin Byard, yeah.
He's strong. I don't think. Well, I think he's a strong safety. I'm not sure. I have no clue.
He's a free safety, I think.
He's a free safety.
Yes.
I don't know who I'm thinking of then, but yeah.
Who you got? You just throw one out there because you can't there's no wrong answer. But
I'm gonna go the Titans only because Derrick Henry's been dog.
I agree. I think I'm going Steelers because they're my team, but Derrick Henry's he's a freak. And Ryan Tannehill.
I have to pick one. You have to pick one.
You have to, but Ryan Tannehill is also playing like Ben Roethlisberger is and not turning over the ball. If you're a quarterback that can go maybe throw 2 touchdowns
he does not
a game.
Ben last week though he should have threw a couple interceptions, but the Browns are so bad that they dropped it.
I know he had
dropped,
a couple that
2
slipped. No, but if you don't turn over the ball, you can win football games.
Right. It's not shoulda, woulda, coulda. You either do it or you don't.
You either do it or you don't. Yeah. So the Lions and Falcons. This game is a good game because they're both their own level kind of. And I'm going Detroit.
I'm going Falcons. You got to give me Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones.
The Lions, Atlanta, -2.5, by the way. This game's going to be a real close game. And Atlanta has every stat with pass, rushing, and receiving in the whole game. Calvin Ridley, 545 yards and 5 touchdowns. Todd Gurley, 422 yards and 5 touchdowns. Underrated season for him so far.
I like Todd Gurley. I have him in my fantasy.
And Matt Ryan has 1,850 yards and 11 touchdowns. So he's having a great year too. But
I just think the Lions are the definition of mediocre.
They are mediocre, but I do think
they're not bad and not good at anything.
I do think against a bad defense like Atlanta,
Atlanta's offense is just so much potential.
It does. I know it has a lot. They have a lot of weapons. Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones,
Todd Gurley,
Matt Ryan. There's no way you should ever lose Hayden Hurst.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hayden Hurst isn't bad either.
No, he's really good. He's
just
top
their
10.
defense, once again,
the defense is awful. And that's why I think Matt Ryan's going to pick them apart. And once you play down, it's hard to come back. Because you already know when they go up, it's not always guaranteed they're going to win.
Yeah, right. They can't hold a lead.
All right. We have the Browns and Bengals.
Oh, another thing real quick about the Falcons. I think they're going to tank for Trevor Lawrence. That's what I was thinking. And they're going to get rid of Matt Ryan.
Listen, I mean, they're already at 1-5. I mean, you could tank.
They should tank. I think Trevor Lawrence
Trade
would be so good. Trade at the number 1 with the Jets.
Do you think they got to get rid of Julio, though, and Matt Ryan to be able to tank
I would
that?
trade Matt Ryan to the Jets.
What about Julio?
No. You can't trade Julio Jones. He's the best. He's the best receiver. He's top 5 all time, skill-wise, at least.
I agree. He was top 3 for the last decade.
If not number 1.
Yeah, I mean, you can argue that he was number 1, but of course I'm a Steelers fan. I'm going to go AB.
Actually,
Calvin Johnson was there too. You can't forget about him. Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, I'd say number 3 for sure.
Okay, Browns and Bengals. This could be a good game, but I'm going Browns.
Browns always stomp the Bengals. I mean, except the last game.
But they are beat up. It's not like they're all healthy now and everything.
The Browns have a lot of injuries.
They're dealing with
They're
a lot.
starting right guard. They're starting safety. They're starting linebacker. Kareem Hunt's out. Nick Chubb's
didn't
out.
Chubb play? Chubb didn't play against them, right? Or he did?
No, he did.
He did. So I mean, that could be a big X factor. Because you guys only won by like what, 6?
Well, they were ahead by like 21 points, and then they just started they started just letting them score to get.
Joe Mixon's actually making a case now. Finally,
And Joe Burrow kind of fell off a little bit. They were saying he was like rookie of the year. Now Justin Herbert kind of took the spotlight. I feel like Joe Burrow's gonna.
He's 1,600 yards and 6 touchdowns, but he's been throwing a lot of interceptions.
Joe Burrow's gonna have a big.
Was he have 5 interceptions this year or something like that? It's close to it.
Yeah, he throws like 60 times a game too.
I mean, that's hard. I mean, he already has 246 pass attempts.
That's 10-to-1 ratio for passes to interceptions for Joe Burrow.
It's not that. Yeah. All right.
Average.
Yeah, average. So I'm gonna go Browns here.
Definitely.
Panthers and Saints. Woo! Is it bad to say that I think the Panthers are gonna win this game?
McCaffrey's still out. They got Mike Davis. And
I don't think that's a big. I mean, like he's an X factor, but I mean,
yeah, but Mike Davis has been crazy.
He's been playing really good. Mike Davis, Robbie Anderson. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater's playing really good. He's playing underrated. No one's talking about him, and he's throwing really well.
I think that's easy for the Panthers, but I mean, the Saints. It's Drew Brees. He can do a fourth quarter comeback or something.
You can't throw the.
I think it's this.
No, I saw a crazy stat the other day. Since 2017, he's only thrown one pass in the air for 35 yards. In the air for 35 yards. Doesn't matter. Just in the air for 35 yards. One pass that he completed. That's a bad stat.
If they have a team that has good zone linebackers, the Drew Brees just can't do anything because he can't throw deep.
And Michael Thomas, I mean, he only runs slants. I mean, it sounds bad.
Right.
It sounds bad,
Michael
but
Thomas
that's why you're taking DeAndre Hopkins and you're taking Julio Jones over him, even though he does put up monster numbers. But you're going to keep getting receptions when no one can guard you at the line of scrimmage, and you're going to run a slant every time. But I'm not going to take away from his credit because he has like the most receptions in 1 year, most touchdowns. He had a great year.
He just gets he's like the McCaffrey effect where he's the only player on the offense for a while. Besides, Kamara had a kind of a down year that year.
Yes, last year he definitely had a down year. Okay, the Bills and the Jets.
I wonder. That's the easiest matchup of the week.
Thank God we had this game because the Bills.
Yeah, we'll get at least one right. The Bills.
Can they still give him the ball to Devin Singletary? I dropped him. I had to get rid of that little bomb, dude. He has 71 carries on the year. It's horrible.
Devin Singletary.
It's like 10 carries a game.
Oh my. Well, Josh Allen has the most rush yards. You know that on their whole team.
Yeah, because
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen has 1,700 passing yards and 60
Unless
touchdowns.
you're Lamar Jackson, you don't want your quarterback to have the most rushing yards on your team. It's just not.
Yeah, it's not. That's
playoffs,
not a good.
He's not Mahomes. He's not bad though. He's not bad, but he's not Mahomes, so he can only pass.
He does make a lot of mistakes though. He's like a Philip Rivers in my eyes, kind of. Philip Rivers, he can go throw for 300 yards, but he'll always have a game. He'll always have a game with at least an interception. That's what's. It's just iffy for me. Cowboys and Washington football team.
That's a hard one.
It's a hard one.
I think the Cowboys just because the Washington. Who's their quarterback?
I think Alex Smith or Kyle Allen.
I don't think Alex Smith should have played this year. I think he should have waited another year. I don't like when he plays.
It scares you or what?
Yeah, I don't want him to snap his leg backwards again or something.
Well, Dwayne Haskins had 1,000 yards and 4 touchdowns when he got. But he has no one understands that Dwayne Haskins has a lot of potential.
He needs to just get off the Redskins.
Get him out of here.
The football team, not the Redskins.
Get him on the Steelers. Get him on the Steelers. Come in our program. We'll take him.
Steelers are going to get Sam Darnold.
I want one of those two.
I'd be happy. I love Sam Darnold out of college, so I wanted him over Baker Mayfield, but I think they're about.
Yeah, I'm going the Cowboys this week, though. I think Ezekiel Elliott's going to have a monster game. He's been needing one. He only has...
I don't know, Chase Young was a little banged up for a couple weeks.
Ezekiel Elliott has 101 carries for 400 yards.
Yeah, I don't get why people are saying he fell off. He's not even that bad.
4 yards a carry isn't terrible. It's pretty good.
Especially now that he doesn't have a quarterback. Well, Andy Dalton's not the worst, but I mean he's not
the guy like Dak Prescott would have been.
Right.
Packers and Texans. I'm gonna go with the Packers here, but I don't think that the Texans. They're bad. Don't get me wrong, but their offense has they have potential. They're in games all the time.
They're in tank mode too. I think they don't have a coach.
But what if they tank though? What are they gonna get? Are they gonna try to?
They don't have they can't tank because they don't have a first round pick or second next year, I think, or something like that.
Yeah,
this year.
I'm going Packers. I think.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to Packers. I don't even know why that's even a thought. They're gonna
the team that plays every week, Seattle and the Cardinals. I swear we cover this game every week for some reason. It's always on here. But I'm going to shock the world and go, the Seahawks are taking a fat L to Kyler
That's
Murray.
me too. I'm going the Cardinals too. I think
It
DeAndre Hopkins
bad.
is so good.
It sounds awful, which I won't be surprised because Russell Wilson already has almost 20 passing touchdowns already. He has 19 and 1,500 yards. I'm not going to take that away from him, but I do think there's always a game where you're going to poop the bed. That's what I think the Steelers are going to have.
I don't think that Russell Wilson's going to lose that game. I think it's just going to be the defense.
Yeah, I know. I think that Russell
Kyler
Wilson will have
Murray
crazy stats, but it's just going to be that defense. Even though they have Bobby Wagner and Jamal Adams in a great pass rush, you should never lose.
I don't get why their defense is so mediocre.
It's mediocre.
They have
KJ Wright's okay. Their corners are eh.
They needed another big name corner. I think
They need a corner.
They drafted some random linebacker in the first round last year instead of Patrick Queen. Gee, thanks, Seattle. You gave the Ravens a Pro Bowler for the next 5 or 6 years.
5 or 6 years, yeah. We got the Chiefs and Broncos. Go Chiefs. But I'm not gonna discredit the Broncos because we were definitely wrong last week because
they
their defense is tough. They play good defense, and they don't even have Von Miller.
I need Philip Lindsay to have a good game because
he had a good game last week.
I have Nick Chubb on my fantasy team. Nick Chubb and Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor from the Colts. He has a bye week, and Nick Chubb's injured for 4 more weeks.
Don't forget that Le'Veon Bell. I think will be.
I have Le'Veon Bell and Philip Lindsay starting.
Well, Le'Veon Bell. I don't think he's going to start. After I'm looking at.
I don't have any other options.
Looking at Edwards-Helaire. I mean, Clyde. He has 107 carries for 500 yards and a touchdown.
They're going to have Le'Veon Bell as more of a pass catcher.
I agree.
In the slot. They'll put him in the slot.
Clyde Edwards.
If you look at their roster, Sammy Watkins, I think, is usually their slot guy, or McCole Hardman.
McCole Hardman.
And they're both hurt a little bit. McCole Hardman isn't hurt, but he's not that good. Sammy Watkins is out.
All right. 49ers in New England.
That's a hard one, but
and I'm going to tell you a crazy stat, and I'm going to go with 49ers here. Just because, Jimmy Garoppolo has been playing, pretty good the last 2 weeks. Pretty good. No,
that's a
last
team
week.
that I think should trade for Matt Ryan.
Last week
is the Niners.
Last week, not 2 weeks where they got manhandled by the Dolphins. But George Kittle had a great game too.
Who did they play last week?
Let me see. Hang on.
I gotta think. Was it the Rams?
I thought the Rams.
Okay. Well, yeah,
49ers.
That's a good game then, because the Rams have an okay defense.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think the Niners would be a top 10 team, top 8 if they had all their players. They're all just hurt. Torn ACLs.
For sure. I mean, they would definitely be.
And they're still 3-2.
Wide receivers are all hurt too.
They're 3-2 with their best pass.
They're in a hard division too.
Very hard division.
The Broncos, the Raiders.
Is that the NFC West? Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Isn't Seattle in? No, Seattle's not in the division. That's the.
Yeah, they are. It's Seattle 49ers.
Okay, I was thinking the Chiefs or something.
Saturday 49ers.
That's a
Cardinals.
hard division.
Isn't Cardinals? The Cardinals are in that division.
Yeah, I was thinking Chiefs. I don't know why I said Raiders. That's the Chiefs.
Yeah. Okay. Cam Newton has 45 carries for 225 yards and 5 touchdowns. That's a pretty good stat.
I'm starting Cam Newton because Lamar Jackson has a.
Cam Newton only has 2 passing touchdowns this whole year, but he's also been out 2 games.
Well, the Patriots have 40 running backs that they've rotated out.
All
That's
right.
why Le'Veon Bell didn't go there.
And then he'd just be like James White, Sony Michel, some dude they drafted this year.
Rex Burkhead.
They have a bunch of guys.
Cam Newton runs.
I'm not going to lie. They all work good together, though. They all just give their points, but they're horrible fantasy players. Gosh. You don't know who's going to have a good game. But if you're going to take someone, it's probably going to be James White or Sony Michel.
I drafted Cam Newton with my last pick of the draft because I just needed. It was either him or John Ross or something stupid like that. So
All right, another good game is the Chargers in Jacksonville. And I'm going the Chargers. But I'm not taking
Justin
away.
Herbert has been on fire. Keenan Allen.
You can't take away from Jacksonville though. Jacksonville, I mean, they're 1-5. The record doesn't show, but Minshew's had a pretty good year. 11 touchdown
I
passes.
don't know. When I think of Gardner Minshew, I just don't think of a good quarterback. I think he's okay.
I think he's average.
He reminds me of Ryan Fitzpatrick, how he's like can't throw far, but he's like decent accuracy, but not good accuracy.
Yeah.
He's a
Okay.
likable person.
Yeah. The Lions, the Chargers -8. So, yeah. All right, next game can be a good one. Bucks and Raiders. Sunday Night Football.
And that's a hard one.
And I'm going Tom Brady again. I think Tom Brady's ready to roll.
Well, the Raiders, it's funny, their offensive line, all 5 of them are out right now because of one of them had the coronavirus. So all 5 of their starting linemen could be out of that game.
Yeah, that's going to be... You got to get tested.
Even so, they're still missing practice. So even if they do play, they're still going to be rusty. I'm going to go with the Bucks.
I'm going to go with the Bucks here. I do think the Bucks are a better
I think
team.
it'll be a close game, though.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. I think
A lot
Derek
closer than
Carr-
last week, Bucks.
Tom Brady, 14 touchdown passes this year already. That's kind of a sleeper touchdown. Like, you don't think of Tom Brady throwing touchdowns
He's
like
not
that.
bad. I thought he was going to stink it up this year. He's been pretty good.
He's doing good, and he also has weapons this year for the first time in his career, besides Gronk. I mean, he's always like Gronk.
He still has Gronk.
Still. Last game, Monday Night Football, we have the Bears and the Rams. Another good game.
I would go with the Bears in that game only because
I think the Rams are going to drop it down to 2, and I think the Bears are going to win that game. So give me the Bears for that game too. They're going to be 6-1, proving you guys all wrong. Nick Foles. But I do think the Rams are a good team though. But I don't see them beating the Bears for some reason. I think the Bears their defense is good. Their offense isn't that bad.
that's a hard one, dude. That's a hard one.
This week was definitely hard.
I'm switching back. I'm switching to the Rams just to have a little conflict.
Okay, I'm gonna go. All right, I'm gonna go Bears.
Yeah, I'm saying Rams because Robert Woods. I love Robert Woods. I like Cooper Kupp. Their running backs suck though. They have terrible running backs.
Yeah.
They're missing Todd Gurley.
Cam Akers. Don't they have Cam Akers?
Yeah, and Malcolm Brown, I think, is the other one. Some random people.
Cam Akers been very underperforming. All right, we're gonna cap it off there. Make sure you like and subscribe. Give us some questions on Twitter.
Our number one fan, the Philly podcast, commented last video. Our number one fan.
Listen, we're gonna do a segment where you guys on Twitter, on YouTube or Twitter, can ask us questions and we'll answer them.
Yeah, that's a good idea.